Everybody, it's Leon with Bigfoot Okanagan. I'm just heading out to meet up with Nick Evans from Roskill's Bushcraft, and we're going to go check on a report that came in from a hunter who bumped into a Sasquatch while he was out deer hunting this year. And he's a little spooked, so we're going to see if we can get into this area. We've tried it for 6 weeks now, Nick, Bob, and myself, but the snowpack's been so high, so hopefully we can get there today. Check out Nick's Roskill's Bushcraft channel, his link's below, and glad that him and Bob are joined the Bigfoot Okanagan team here, because they're not afraid. That's what I like about them. So talk to you in a couple seconds.
Ditching the vehicle here, bit of a muddy patch here, and we don't want to risk getting stuck. And yeah, we basically head on up. We're not too far away now, about a K from where this hunter had his sighting. So we're gonna get in there and grid the place out and have a good look around, see if we can see any tracks. We're Leon today from Bigfoot Okanagan.
Hey everybody!
So yeah, we're gonna get two of us on it and see what we can find. We just bumped into a couple of hunters on their way up here, scouting out for bear, and they were saying that there is a big sow bear in the area, which may explain the track from my last video. And they saw wolves, which explains the tracks and the scat I saw in the video before that. So interesting stuff. So that's cool. So there is wildlife in the area, and of course, yeah, you just saw there, just saw a nice little juvie moose running down the road, and I've got some pretty fresh deer tracks right here as well. So, heading on up, so that's good. There are wildlife in the area, but hopefully we can see the big guy.
That's a little disappointing. We got up top here, just down the road trail here a bit is where the sighting was. They logged this whole bloody valley out, which goes a long way that way, which totally sucks. Then there's another one over there. It's turned out to be a pretty nice day, that's for sure. It's funny, we were just talking to two hunters that were on the road, and they said, oh yeah, there's nothing up here, been hunting here for 30 years. Everything kind of petered out last 2 years. And we left them. I think we drove a kilometer. Next thing we know, there's a moose in front of our vehicle. We both scrambled for our cameras. I think Nick got the arse end of it when I ran away. So anyways, I'll talk in a bit.
So this is a good example of what we're looking for here. These are actually human, where humans actually climbed up the embankments and gone off. But yeah, Leon has found big footprints going up and down embankments before. So we always check these nice wet areas, because anything big, anything of decent size climbing these will leave sign and footprints in their wake. And we are basically in the area right now of where that hunter spotted the Sasquatch. So you see how I'm moving here. I'm using the logs to leave no prints. That's what I believe the Sasquatch do too. There's an animal out here that's intelligent. They want to leave no trace, or very little trace of their presence. They can use every bit of terrain to their advantage. So if they can walk across logs to avoid leaving prints, they will. It's also quieter too, because you're not standing on branches. You're not slushing through water. I'm speaking quietly now because I'm in the bush, and I want to make sure if I see anything, I can sort of sneak up on it. Not startle it, ideally.
So when you're going through the bush, you guys, I want you to slow yourself really down. You're going to get what's called the addicting Sasquatch bite. And the reason why I want you to go slow is if you bump into, like we've already seen a moose, like I said. So if you bump into a moose and you're walking, you're not in a vehicle, and a moose is going to be standing a good 3 feet higher than you, you're going to notice your system engage, your insides. So the idea about having those encounters and those experiences, just as a side note, don't piss around with a moose that has a calf or calves. But you learn to what your body does as practicum when you bump into something that's that big in the bush. I still get the willies when you come across something, because you know it's you standing in the bush with something else from the bush. So just kind of want to mention that a bit. It really sucks that this, which is old timber, is what this was supposed to look like. Sorry about the wind there, I'll try to block it for you. That whole valley's been logged out. Okay, so this print right here that you're seeing, right there, that's a female moose. You can tell by her toes being farther in, and the back of the hoof is higher up. In other words, the depth is more tucked in to that mud, and the back part's lifted up. If it was a cow, or not, sorry, not a cow, if it was a bull, it would be deeper and more consistent. Oh, I also want to point out one other thing. Bring your chainsaws. Because that's definitely been knocked down by the winter. And they can still come down after the winter's over and you're already in here, so you'd be screwed on the other side of that thing if you don't. So, all right. Okay, I think I have a better idea of where Scott was. He would have came up this road behind me here, See the forest there? That used to be available over here, but this has been logged out over my left shoulder here. And I think he was coming up from the road behind me. And as he was walking up here, sorry if you can't see me a little bit here, I've been trying to block the wind from the sun, but he was coming around a corner here, this corner right here. Again, he's got old forest up here. This has all been logged out. It wasn't logged out when he came up. And he was just about in this zone, and he looked up and he seen what he thought was a hunter in those willows, crouched down. And he thought, oh geez, there's another hunter in my area. And then what ended up happening was he took a look at it with his scope, and which I don't advise you to do. And he just took a quick look. He realized it wasn't a hunter, it was something else, and it was crouching. I asked him, did you see it before it saw you, or did it see you before it? Did it see you before you saw it? And he said, no, it saw me before I saw it. And then he said it actually stood up, because there's a gully there too. He said it was, when he first seen it, it looked like a hunter down in the gully, and there's a gully that's all in this willow area here with a little bit of a creek that's going down here. And it stood up, it leaned in and looked at him, and that's not that far away from where I'm standing. I could see how I'd get skits from doing that. And then as it got up and stood up, it turned and pivoted and moved across from this area here. Now Nick is up this other road here because there's a creek that runs, and Scott had said it moved towards where the creek is, and I don't think you can probably hear it, but it's flowing pretty good right now. So it would have came from this willow area over here all the way across this way, across this road, and then down to where the creek continues down this kind of valley that's down here. The other interesting thing he said was, I said, you have a rough idea of how big it was? And he goes, well, it's the size of the willows, as high as the willows. And those willows are about 8 feet tall. So he's got those accurate facts down pat. So I think this is kind of pretty close to where it is. And I expect that, here's Nick coming out of there right now, following through that track, kind of what Scott's going to say. But we'll know more about that when we get Scott in sight. So thanks. I'm going to go up there because he's 6'3", and kind of squat down, because that's what Scott was saying. It seemed like it was squat down in the gully that's in these willows. And then he's going to stand up and we're going to film him just to get a height variance. Then we're going to send this to Scott so he can verify it. The willows are about 6 to 8 feet tall too, so mostly fairly high though, 7 to 8 feet tall. So we're going to do that right now. And there's Nick getting himself all ready, aren't you, Nick? Go man, go team!
Let's do it. Yeah, definitely, definitely.
All right.
Let's see what we got. So me and Leon were just chatting, and so this is potentially where the hunter was standing. We're going to find out, of course, a little bit further down. Of course, he comes around the corner. This was all dense wood at that point, and so anyway, as he came around the corner, he spotted something crouching in this gully here. So I'm going to reenact it for Leon, and we're going to see what we think, and we're going to speak to the gentleman, the hunter, and find out if that's sort of a correct reenactment, because there is a little runoff here. Our only question is, why would it be in this little gully dealing with these willows? Yeah, I mean, look how dense these are. And I found that going up the other side just now when I was creeping up, it was just too dense. So that's the question we got.
Are you down there now? You're totally camouflaged. Oh, there you are. Let me just zoom in here for a sec.
Yeah, I'm crouched down here now. Yeah, it doesn't help. I got the camera. I got the invisible jacket on. So I mean, looking at this, I mean there is a bit of food in here. I can see that. Some edible plants maybe he's looking for. Maybe get some water. This is the sort of thing he's after. And this is what he'd be looking at. No, not yet. No. I'm 2 feet out from the gully. So we're just trying to distinguish the size of the thing.
I'll tell you, it's pretty thick. I can't even see you. Oh, there you are. Holy smokes, man. You just blended right into that. Now, you're not down in the gully, though, right?
No, not yet, no.
Okay, how far are you up from kind of halfway up the gully? Or okay. Stop. Sorry, you guys. This is waving a bit. Give me a sec. Okay. Yeah, well, that's probably good. It was fall at the time, so there'd be no tree leaves on the trees. And you'd be a lot blacker than you are in that outfit you got going. Huh. Yep. So, yep. So if you were squatting, squat down a little bit. Okay, stand up now. That's 6'3". Man, even Nick, you can't even see him go through there.
Definitely plausible that this thing came out through here, headed that way. There's game trails up here.
It's pretty thick stuff, but man, you can see how tough it would be to film them. Especially if doing this strategy, going behind the willows. It's great hiding concealment. It doesn't have to be in the other side, on the other side of the willows, totally open area. Yeah, look at that, he's already gone. And the reason why Nick's heading this direction is because the Water and Creek Way is where, oh, there he is. Now that's a human walking through that. Sasquatch who's used to walking through that. It's going to be motoring pretty slick. And Nick is raw skills bushcraft guy. He goes through the bush fairly quickly. There he is right there. Squatchery. Huh. That was interesting. What are you looking at there, Nick?
Yeah, so this is an interesting one for you. This appears to be a moose rub, where a moose has come along and it's got an itch on its antlers from all the old skin and fur that's coming off them. I forget, the velvet, I believe that's what they call the fur that grows on the antlers. And so yeah, they come along and they rub it off, they rub it on the tree sure, and that's when you get all these marks. And that's basically scraped off all the bark on this young pine tree.
And the branches.
Yep, and you've got the snap branches there, of course, too, yeah, added into it. That'd have been pretty wicked to see. Oh God, I love these granola bars.
What's that?
Tasty. Those granola bars. I love nature's domain, I guess. Nature's domain. Nature's bounty, I think it's smart. So we've reached the end of the trail now. We're heading towards the food site.
Okay, so we're just hacking up here. That tree line up top there that you see, back that up a little. That tree line up there is where the sighting was, all back through here. This has all been logged out. This was as old growth as the other side was. And now we're going to check out a food cache, put up a camera, and I'm going to show you this because Nick really likes to bushcraft. So I just want to show you what we're walking in here. Go ahead, Nick.
I like to bushwhack, so you know what I like. Bushwhacking is the best.
Oh, this is not as bad as what I was thinking. It looked pretty rough though. This has been washed out before too.
Sorry?
Said this has been washed out before.
Yeah,
Just gonna switch cams.
it is not terrible.
Yeah, definitely got deer hair there.
Yeah.
Also got something that's crawled over top of that. But that busted off.
Snap that one.
And down there for a second. Check that big. Well, we actually came across a structure here. And we're in shit. Shit weather. Or shit forest here. Look. There's even a Sasquatch ladder. Look at. And a Sasquatch floor for bedding on. It's amazing. Right, Nick?
Oh yeah.
I'm fascinated. We're scared. We got the Sasquatch willies.
See where they even forge nails to
Yeah. And I like how they have that.
Yeah,
Oh, and there's a leaner. Right there.
look at this off the ground. How did that go? How did that fall there?
Well, we should assess it. Oh, I know how. Because of that tree stand over to the right up here. Right there. Yes, we are mocking it.
There's even a chair over there. They've even forged metal chairs.
They've learned about alchemy.
Amazing what you find when you wander in the bush. Middle of nowhere, we find a bush ladder. Looks like somebody's old tree stand by the looks of it. And we're in the middle of nowhere right now. Horrible dense bush. Might as well we'll probably carry on this side. Stay on the right of this. Yeah, that's a bit easier going. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, we'll go take a look. This is an interesting one in the middle of the woods. Potential bear print. And then we got a potential cub. Potential small bear prints here. There's a couple here. And this one here goes, as you see, goes right in. Steps over the log. Comes across, jumps over here. Steps over here too, and then heads off. This is interesting stuff. There's lots of wildlife out here. Just not the big hairy creatures we're after. We're going to keep on looking. The search continues. As a rule of thumb, when you're going through the bush, make sure you're always correcting yourself and you have something to either parallel with or use a compass bearing. The simple reason is everyone tends to drift in one direction, whether either left or to the right. Me, I typically go to the right, so it would be very easy to lose the trail right now that we're following. Trail's over there on our left. I gotta try and work my way through here, then get left even more. Otherwise, we're gonna lose the trail and be in deep bush. And yeah, don't want to get lost out here. You know, that might be the only way to find these guys. So just a little survival tip for you. Moose prints everywhere. Yeah, this is too dense. I think that's where the trail stops there. We're not going to get to it, I don't think. Yeah, I don't see a trail here, so I guess the trail stopped there. Big time. Yeah. No, I guess it stopped there. kind of hoping it would carry on through the woods, but nope. Yeah, these ones are too, a little bit. So yeah, like falling off here. They carry on down. The bush is just too dense for us.
Now that was pretty brutal. Willows are the worst. Those kind of willows. I think Nick's back there somewhere.
Stuff. Yeah, our attempt to come in from the other direction was thwarted by, extreme dense bush and a lack of a trail. So we decided, let's just leave it out and just drive up there instead and come the other side. So here we are, we're heading in now and we'll see what we got, see if there's any food left there. So we've come up to the area now and looks like I can see the pepper from here. Yeah, I can see the pepper. Oh, there are the bananas too, they're still there. They've not been touched. That's a shame, that's a shame.
This is great in here. It looks like a bit of a beaver dam. A great place to look for tracks for sure. Water goes down through there. What made you choose this spot for your cache, by the way?
I just figured you got a water source here, a creek running by, and then there's these multiple game trails coming past. So I figured it might be a good spot. Plus it was quite muddy here last time as well. Plus with the mud by there too, it might be a good chance to get a footprint or two.
Right.
So that was the thinking. So that was what I came up with. Up there.
Where?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no joy, I'm afraid. Bananas are still there. They're still edible, actually.
That's all right.
I made to catch a beaver on film, and then there's scrapes on this tree here. These scrapes. Oh yeah, these are. This is scrape damage too.
Scrape damage. That's definitely older though, but.
Yeah. It's older stuff, but it's still scrape damage. Antlers, I think. Oh. Although it's only on two sides, so that could that be claws? Wonder if that's claws from something. Potentially claws from something.
I want to show you this track because hopefully there's a moose print right there, and that's a female. But the reason why I want to show you this is look how big that snow patch opened after it melted, just from that hoof mark, which is only that big, has expanded this big. So that's why you have to learn how to read tracks, especially when they're weathering. Look at this one. This looks like a Sasquatch one right here. You can see why people would think that these are Sasquatch. But again, you can see the front part of the moose track.
Okay, we'll trace it back inside. It's more over there.
Yeah, right. Look how it looks. Yeah. Now, if I was a jerk, I could narrate that. So these are Sasquatch prints, but I'm here to educate, not to be a jerk. So yeah. Just something to keep in mind.
So this is a good example here of how prints in snow can be a little misconstrued sometimes. misidentified, I should say. Basically, we got a moose trail here. Says Leon says it's a female. So what we got there is the track is quite small on that side. Works its way down. Basically, where the snow is melted, the track gets bigger, until we end up with a what looks like a Sasquatch print. But then if you look carefully, you can actually still see the female's moose print in there. But if there was still a little bit of snow at the bottom of there, you could easily misidentify that and be jumping for joy right now because you found a Sasquatch print. But really, it's a moose print, and I see it with a lot of other things as well. Other little prints can do that. We were talking about it the one time, and rabbits, when they jump along in the snow as well, they leave their indentation, which then also can expand out and turn into what looks like footprints. So just something to be aware of. Like I said, looking at this subject analytically and trying to disprove nonsense and basically prove the factual stuff. So that's what we're looking for. So Leon's just over here. We're reciting the trail cam, and he's found these claw marks.
This is kind of interesting here. We just came across these scratches right here. They're fresh. It's up there too. But the interesting thing is they've been used before. See these ones here? These have been scratched and now they've healed.
Right up here.
And then these ones are all the way around the tree. 2-finger width. And the interesting thing is you can see the scarring on this tree. So whatever animal's doing this, it's been doing it. Holy smokes, it has been. It's been doing it for a while. Here's some more scarring. Same with that tree there. So whatever it is, it's definitely using this spot. It's one of its favorite spots. Look how high they do. They go. How high is that, Nick?
I'd say, well, I'm 6'3", so I'll stand here.
Yeah, your fingers are like 3.
So I'm 6'3". Take my hat off. So what's that? 7.5 feet almost.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's set the rest of the bait up. It's funny too. It's that section, that section, that section. I wonder if that's the front paw, and these are the hind paws. These ones here are the hind.
Yeah.
And these are the front that are pulling up. What's on this side?
Definitely.
You got old scarring there too. Look at that one, eh? Look how deep that is.
What's that?
It's going to be like a quarter ounce. It's about a quarter ounce.
That's cool.
Definitely, it's deep though, and definitely fresh. Look how crisp that is. Huh. Go ahead, man. Sorry.
No worries, that's all right. Just look at them. They're monsters. And
yeah, it's good.
they're at least 1.5 inches.
Yeah, 2 inches.
1.5 inches, 2 inches
well, look how that goes
in between.
Around the whole side.
And it goes all the way around. Yeah, it's huge. And up the tree too.
And I should shut the camera so it stops filming.
That's crazy. That's cool. So we're setting up the game cam here. I've moved we've moved the bananas and the pepper to here, so it's right where in line where the camera is, and we're also going to put some tuna juice and some tuna on that log there. So it's soaked right into that log. So we're going to hopefully get some good animal video in the next week, and then me and Leon are going to come up next weekend and see what's been through here. And of course this is all nice and muddy too, so hopefully we get some prints. But those are gnarly. That could be bear. That could be your bear too. Just by the width of the things. That's pretty cool. Been here a while, I don't see any prints. So just to get a perspective of this, these ones here are about 7.5 feet up. Which is pretty cool. I mean, I'm stood next to it, I'm 6'3". My head comes to, top of my head comes to here. So I'm 6'3", And that's where those are. So that's almost 7.5 feet up there. So Leon's chumming up that stump. Camera set up just here. Oh, a bit of salmon, is it? Yeah, lovely. Oh, tuna, yeah, lovely. So the idea behind this is the tuna juices and smell will seep into the log there and distract any animal that comes through here for a little bit longer, so our camera can get some good pictures of the thing. There's the camera there. So hopefully next week we'll have some video and some pictures for you. Overall, yeah, we didn't see any sign of any Sasquatch out here, but other wildlife we've seen tons. I mean, we saw a moose on the way in. We've seen a ton of moose prints. We've seen potential either cougar or bear scrapings. We've seen antler scrapings. What else did we see? We've seen bear prints, possible cub prints too. We did a little reenactment for how we potentially can picture how that sighting went. So yeah, overall fantastic day in the woods, and looking forward to getting back out here again and continue our exploration in this area. As you can see, it's just like a wicked wilderness. And funny enough, we actually bumped, I don't know whether I mentioned this earlier, but we bumped in a couple of hunters on the way up. And they were saying there is, in this area, there is a big sow bear been seen, big sow grizzly bear. So, get my English out again. And she's been seen in this area with cubs. So yeah, I don't want to run into her anytime soon.
Plus, that could be the footprint you found.
Yeah, that could definitely be the footprints I found too.
Big, bloody footprint.
Yeah, that was a good sized bear print. So, yeah, that was last time we were up here. So. Anyway, we're gonna basically drive down now and head back, and we got some work to do. So anyway, this is Nick and Leon from Bigfoot Okanagan. Check out his page. And this is Nick from Roskilde Bushcraft Survival Adventures here. Hey, good to see you, and stay safe in the woods. Hopefully it's entertaining for you, and more to come soon. We're gonna find these bloody big buggers.
No pressure.
No pressure at all. No pressure at all.